If you had $1 for every product which claimed it was the secret of how to get rid of belly fat fast, you would have more money than Oprah. Speaking of Oprah, how about her protege Dr. Mehmet Oz? How many ridiculous banners do you see which claim to be supplements endorsed by him? They promise their one weird trick is the Dr. Oz approved method for rapid weight loss. Something else you need to watch out for is the diet pills and foods which promise to quickly reduce belly bloat. We get the appeal of why that is so desirable for women. Unlike the upper legs and butt, your tummy is one part of the body where curves are not preferred. Alcohol consumption, even a little bit. The term beer belly is actually supported by science. How much alcohol you consume correlates with how much visceral fat you have. In both women and men, the more you drink, the bigger your abdomen becomes, and no, sadly we're not talking about bigger ab muscles here. Could the alcohol be affecting the health of the liver, which then affects the fat that gathers around it? Or is the alcohol affecting hormone levels, similar to what pregnant women and postmenopausal experience? 5% may not seem like much, but that's easily a couple of pant sizes or dress sizes bigger. So don't let anyone ever tell you that red wine is a superfood because it clearly isn't when it comes to your waistline. Exercise affects your fat distribution. No, we're not talking about exercising to burn off fat. You already know that. The research suggests that overweight people, even when they remain so, will have less visceral and subcutaneous fat if they exercise. The higher the intensity, the less they had. Remember, we're not talking about exercise to lose weight, but rather just how it affects the distribution on the body. Postmenopause causes more in the midsection. A healthy diet of eating the right foods is even more important for women post-menopause. Why? Because the research suggests that you are more likely to have a higher proportion of visceral fat after menopause than before. Terrible news for women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. You can't do spot reduction. If you do 200 sit-ups a day, will your belly become skinnier? Nope. The muscle may become stronger and therefore more noticeable, but the amount of fat in that area will remain the same. Countless studies have shown that spot loss is not possible. You can't make one area lose faster than another. Take the one conducted in Denmark, which was published in the American Journal of Physiology. Men did single leg extension exercises for 30-minute sessions. The fat burned came from everywhere in the body, even though a tiny bit more came from the subcutaneous fat in the exercised leg. It didn't matter because afterward, the additional burned spot fat was replenished. Food may not affect fat distribution. Sure, there have been studies for certain foods and ingredients which might marginally impact how much ends up at the midsection. For example, trans fat may cause that, 5. But ultimately the person still has to be overweight to some degree in the first place for that to occur. When we are overweight, all parts of our body gain weight. It's just that the midsection is the most noticeable. Pinching belly, for example, let's say you got 10% heavier. Your arm getting 10% bigger in circumference may not be as noticeable, but when that same 10% happens to your tummy, it's super obvious and you're reminded of it on a daily basis. Your pants don't fit, your belly hangs over your waistline. It's not that you're getting fatter there instead of elsewhere, it's just that the waist is so freaking noticeable and a constant reminder to you. In reality, it's everywhere that are overweight, not just your tummy. For that reason, you should be focusing on superfoods for weight loss in general. Because if you have love handles, it means you need to diet. You don't need to shed pounds in only one spot, you need to address all spots. What does this all mean? Sellers of supplements and foods are clever people. They know literally every woman on earth obsesses over her weight, especially her midsection, being that it's the most noticeable location. That is precisely the reason they describe them as foods for belly fat loss. They are not ingredients that help there instead of your arms, legs, feet, and neck. Rather, it just sounds better to include that tummy terminology when describing them. Saying you will see rapid results or that you will quickly be able to lose pounds is also just marketing. Remember, those words are subjective, so their definition of fast may be what most people consider to be slow. Describe them however you want, but when you cut through the marketing mumbo jumbo, it just comes down to choosing good weight loss foods and regimens. It's not just your tummy, it's everything. BAOBAB fruit extract. Based on ORAC values, it is one of the highest antioxidant substances on earth, 40% more than acai and nearly 30x higher than blueberries. BAOBAB contains more fiber than any other superfruit, over 50% of its content is fiber. When you're trying to drop those pounds, healthy fiber intake is important to help you feel full. The more satisfied you feel when eating, the less likely you are to keep eating. Apple cider vinegar. Although a more recent trend in the United States, Reportedly in North African culture, women have been using apple cider vinegar to achieve weight loss for generations, and men, bodybuilders, are said to use it for purported rapid results before competitions. Despite being one of the most popular foods for dropping pounds, clinical trials have not been done to validate this claim. We are not making any claims about whether or not it works. All we know is that for us personally, we find that when we use it 30 to 60 minutes before a meal, we end up eating less. Green tea. This is not some flavor of the week fad. For a long time now, green tea has been studied for reportedly offering weight loss benefits, and it does not appear to be caused by caffeine. According to the results from a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, it had a thermogenic effect on participants, boosting metabolism burn by 4% over a 24-hour period when compared to those on a placebo. Chia seeds. Chia is a controversial food. Many people claim that it's a superfood that encourages losing weight, but the research does not support that. There have not been many clinical studies so far, but for the ones that have been done, those consuming chia did not lose more weight versus those who weren't. However, we still like chia because it is a very fiber-rich food and has more omega-3s than salmon based on an equal ounce versus ounce comparison. Purple sweet potatoes. You won't hear the Atkins diet crowd saying you should eat a potato because, gasp, they contain carbs. Well, newsflash. Carbs are actually needed in your diet for energy. Just like most nutrients, in moderation, they're healthy, in excess they're not. The USDA actually recommends the following for adults: 45 to 65% of calories from carbohydrates, 20 to 35% from fats, 10 to 35% from proteins. Eliminating the largest category is foolish. Even if you want to consume less, you still need plenty of carbs on a daily basis. Not only are sweet potatoes very high in antioxidants, but if you prepare them the right way, an entire potato is only around 130 calories. That can be a very filling and nutritious portion of your lunch or dinner. Chili peppers, in any form. Not everyone is a fan of spicy food, but if you are, there are actually health benefits of advantages of consuming them. As a spice, whether it's cayenne powder or plain black pepper, they're high in antioxidants. The same holds true for the fresh peppers. In fact, dried jalapenos have 2x the antioxidants as fresh blueberries when compared on an equal weight basis, but of course, you can consume berries in abundance. Spicy peppers must be consumed in much smaller amounts. If you enjoyed this video, kindly press the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe with notifications on, so that you don't miss out on videos like this. Thank you for watching.